Hey, this is Brant with Vintage Statements, and today we've got this nice TallBoy that we're going to redo. So follow along. Alright, so the plan for this is we're going to remove all the hardware, some really cool hardware on it. We're going to sand it down because there is some spots on the top here. It must have been left out in the sun, or the sun must have been beating on it through a window. So we've got to get some of this polyurethane off the top here to give it a nice smooth surface. We'll work our way down. Pretty dirty. Doesn't look like it's been cleaned in a while. So we'll sand our way down, just give it a scuffed up look to it so we can get that paint that here really nice, and we got some good paint for it. We'll paint it, put it back together, and we'll have a pretty cool new piece ready for sale. So let's get the hardware off first. Alright, so we finished sanding. We used 80 grit sandpaper, smoothed it out. The spots that we couldn't use our palm sander with, we hand sanded them just to give it a nice scuff here. You can see it takes off that sheen, which allows this bare prime and paint to work really nice. We're using what's called Very Navy today with our wedge brush. We're going to start on our drawers, then we'll hit the frame, and then we can start putting this project back together. We're going to do 2 coats. So let's get started. Alright, we have 2 coats of paint on it. It's dried. We're in Phoenix, so it took about 5 minutes for it to dry. But it actually sat for quite a bit longer. But what we're going to do, light scuff. We're Vintage Statements. We want that nice little scuff, little worn in look that we're known for. So I've got some old sandpaper. Got 80 grit and 120 grit here. And we're just going to go around, scuff it up a little bit, give it a worn in look, and then what we can do is wax it. Now, if you wanted that new look to it and you didn't want it all scuffed up, you could skip and go right to the next section, which would be just the wax. But let's scuff this one up, give it a little bit of a vintage look. So we've got it all sanded down, wiped off. Now we can apply our paste, our mini wax to it. So I've got an old sock, and what we're going to do is just wipe it on, wipe it off, and it'll give this nice little wet look to it, and it'll protect it also. So let's get started. here it is completed. All the work is done. It's a very navy is the paint color. We sanded it down, cleaned it up, put 2 coats on it, let it dry. We sanded it, and then we gave it a wax, which gives it this nice wet look and grains the grain comes through and the paint matches it really nice. If you like this project and many of our others, subscribe to our channel, like us on Facebook and Instagram, and leave us a comment. Tell us what you think of this vintage look.